My name is Daniel, and I want to tell you something true from my heart. It begins on the day I felt the most afraid in my life. I remember waking up and feeling a heavy stone in my chest. I had just lost my job 2 days before. It happened so fast. One moment I was at my desk, drinking my morning tea, then my manager asked me to step into his office. His face was soft, but his voice was slow and serious. He said the company needed to cut people. He said it was not my fault. But it still hurt. It felt like the ground under me opened. That morning, at home, I sat on the side of my small bed. I looked around my tiny room. The blue paint on the walls looked even colder than usual. My hands were shaking a little. I kept asking myself, what will happen now? How will I pay rent? How will I take care of myself? I tried to stay calm, but my thoughts were loud and messy. I walked to the kitchen and opened my wallet. I had only a few bills left. Not enough for rent, not enough for food for long. My stomach tightened as I counted them again. It did not change anything. I went outside because the air inside felt too heavy. The sky was gray, and the clouds sat low like they wanted to hide the sun. I walked slowly to the bus stop. I did not even know where I wanted to go. I just needed to move. At the bus stop, I sat on a cold metal bench. 2 students laughed near me. A woman talked on her phone. Everyone looked busy, alive, safe. I felt small, like I was disappearing in the noise around me. I kept thinking about my life. I kept thinking about how tired I was. I whispered a small question to myself. Why is life so difficult right now? Then my phone buzzed. It was a message from my landlord. My heart jumped. I knew it was about the rent. I opened it slowly, afraid of what I would read. It said, "Rent is due today. Please pay as soon as possible." My breath got sharp. I felt heat rise in my face. I wanted to reply, but my fingers did not move. I had nothing to say. I had no money. Hope felt far away. I looked down at the ground. I felt close to crying, but I did not want people to see. I held my hands together and tried to breathe. Then I noticed a soft shadow in front of me. Someone was standing close. I looked up and saw an older woman with gentle eyes. She wore a light brown coat and carried a small paper bag in her hand. Her smile was quiet, almost shy. "Are you all right?" she asked. Her voice was calm, like warm tea on a cold night. I wanted to say yes, but the truth sat too heavy on my tongue. I just shook my head a little. She sat down beside me. The metal bench made a small sound. For a moment, we both watched the road. Cars passed, one after another. Life kept moving, even if mine felt like it had stopped. "Bad day?" she asked. I took a long breath. I lost my job. And I cannot pay my rent today. My voice sounded small, even to me. I do not know what to do now. She did not look shocked. She only nodded softly, like she understood more than I said. Then she opened the paper bag. Inside, I saw 2 sandwiches wrapped in white paper. "I bought lunch," she said. "But I am not very hungry today. Would you like one?" I blinked. It was such a simple offer. A sandwich. But after everything that morning, it felt huge. I felt my throat grow tight. "Thank you," I said. My hands shook a little as I took it. I did not even realize how hungry I was until I smelled the warm bread. She watched me for a moment. "You look tired," she said. "Life can feel heavy when we carry everything alone." I looked down. Her words touched something deep inside me. Nobody had said something kind to me in a long time. Then she reached into her coat pocket. She pulled out a small envelope. She held it carefully, like it mattered. She placed it on my knee. "For rent," she said. "Please take it." My whole body froze. I can't," I whispered. "It is all right," she said. "It is a gift. Someone helped me many years ago. I never forgot. Now it is my turn." Her kindness felt unreal. My eyes grew wet. I tried to give the envelope back, but she gently pushed my hand away. "Use it for this month," she said. "When you can, help someone else. That is enough." I opened the envelope with shaking fingers. Inside, there was more money than I expected. Enough for rent. Enough for food for a little while. I closed it quickly, afraid the moment might disappear if I looked too long. "Why me?" I asked. She smiled. "Because you needed someone today." We sat in silence after that. I ate slowly. The sandwich tasted simple, but tears kept forming in my eyes. I wiped them away, embarrassed, but she only looked forward, giving me space to breathe. After a few minutes, her bus arrived. She stood up slowly. "Take care," she said. "Better days will come." I nodded, still unable to speak well. "Thank you," I whispered. She touched my shoulder gently, then stepped onto the bus. The doors closed, and it drove away. I watched until the bus turned the corner and disappeared. I sat there, holding the envelope on my lap. My heart felt warm and confused at the same time. I could not understand how a stranger could care so much. But her kindness filled the cold places inside me. Something changed in me that day. Something quiet, but strong. I stood up. The sky was still gray, but it felt a little brighter. As I walked home, I kept thinking about her words. Help someone else when you can. I did not know how or when, but I knew one thing. I would not forget this moment. And one day, I would pass this kindness forward. I walked home slowly, holding the envelope close to my chest. The air felt different. The street was still quiet, the sky still heavy, but something inside me felt lighter. Hope was small, but it was awake again. I paid my rent that afternoon. My landlord looked surprised when I handed him the money. I gave a small smile, but I did not tell him the full story. It felt too personal, too new, like a warm seed I wanted to protect. During the next few weeks, I searched for work every day. Some places said no. Some places never answered. But I kept trying. Each time I felt tired, I remembered the woman on the bench. Her small smile. Her calm voice. Her gift. It pushed me forward when my own energy was low. One morning, I found a job at a small cafe a few blocks away. The owner, Mr. Lewis, was friendly and direct. He needed help at the counter. I told him I could start right away. When he said yes, I felt a quiet joy move through me. The cafe was simple, with wooden tables and soft music. People came in for coffee, tea, and small cakes. I learned how to use the machine, how to take orders, how to talk to customers. It felt good to work again. It felt good to stand, move, and smile. One rainy afternoon, something happened that reminded me of that day at the bus stop. A young man came into the cafe. He looked cold and wet. His clothes were damp, and his eyes looked tired, the way mine once did. He ordered a tea, then checked his pockets. His face fell. "I'm sorry," he said. "I don't have enough money." I felt a small pull in my chest. A memory. A bench. A quiet voice saying, "Use it for this month." Without thinking too much, I smiled at him. "It's all right. This one is on the house today." He looked confused. "Are you sure?" "Yes," I said. "Enjoy the tea." His shoulders relaxed. A tiny bit of color returned to his face. He sat by the window and warmed his hands on the cup. I watched from the counter, and a warm feeling spread through me. It was small, but it felt right. It felt like a circle closing. A few weeks later, something even more surprising happened. An older customer named Mrs. Hill came into the cafe. She always ordered the same thing, a small black coffee. But that day she looked sad. Her hands shook a little. "Are you all right?" I asked gently. She sighed. My grocery bag broke outside. All my things rolled into the road. I don't know how to carry everything now. Without thinking, I told Mr. Lewis I would take a short break. I helped her gather the groceries. Cars slowed down as we chased a runaway apple and a can of soup. She laughed a little, and the sound made the street feel warm. I carry her groceries home for her. She thanked me again and again. "You saved my day," she said with a soft smile. And in that moment, I felt the truth of it. I was helping others because someone once helped me. Her kindness did not stop at me. It moved through me, into someone else's life. Weeks passed, and small moments like this kept happening. Helping someone cross the street. Giving a free cookie to a tired student. Sharing an umbrella with a stranger at the bus stop. Simple things. Small things. But each one felt like a tiny light. One afternoon, the young man I once gave free tea to came back. This time he looked brighter. His clothes were clean. His smile was easy. "I got a new job," he said proudly. "I wanted to thank you. Your kindness that day helped me more than you know." His words filled my chest with warmth. I realized the ripple was growing. Kindness was moving from one person to another, and then another. Like water spreading out after a small stone falls into a quiet lake. At night, in my small room, I sometimes think about the woman on the bench. I never saw her again. I do not know her name. But her kindness lives in every small good thing that happens after that day. It lives in every person touched by the change she started. Maybe she knew this would happen. Maybe she only wanted to help one person. But her act changed many lives, including mine. I still hear her voice sometimes, soft and steady. "When you can, help someone else." I smile when I think of her. Because she was right. One small moment of kindness can change everything. and I am living proof of that.
Have you ever received a small act of kindness that changed your day or even your life? Share your story in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more interesting English stories. Key vocabulary from the story are: gift, heavy, stranger, relax, and bright. Gift, something you give to someone. Heavy, something that feels difficult or weighs a lot. Stranger, a person you do not know. Relax, to become calm or less worried. Bright, full of light or happiness. Lesson of the day. Stranger. Stranger is a person you do not know. Example from the story. How a stranger helped me on the worst day of my life. She was a stranger, but she cared like a friend. More examples. Yesterday I met a stranger who asked for directions. A stranger smiled at me on the bus, and it made me feel better. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and share. You can watch the next story here or explore our playlist for more inspiring stories. And don't forget to subscribe, more interesting stories for learning English are coming soon.